it's Steph from Happy Place to Grow. Happy New Year. Yeah, it's officially 2021. I'm here at school. It is January 15th, and we have been back now 2 weeks. We've completed 2 weeks. Now, in my school district, we are all in-house, but we're only going for 4 days a week. So we are back here at it, and I must say, I am very exhausted at the end of this second week of the new year. I've been doing all things assessment, trying to just evaluate how my students are doing after that long Christmas break. Just make sure that the skills that we were working on before we left are still sharp. If not, I am doing a lot of reviewing. So I've been working on all things assessments. I've also been working on some really fun January activities. I wanted to share a few of those with you. Of course, when we come back, I always like to work on New Year traditions and customs, and I love to do a Happy New Year time with my students. So I always let them pick out a party hat and get a noise maker. And this year I did purchase some party horns because, you know, we needed to celebrate a good year, 2021, a much better one. So I gave everyone a little tooty horn, and we talked about, you know, counting down 10, 9, 8, and Happy New Year. We went through all those traditions. And then, of course, I let them scare away the bad luck. And we welcomed in our new school year. That's always really fun. I also like to go over the tradition of making a New Year's resolution. And so we worked on those, and most of my students have completed theirs, and they're out in the hall. So that was our first fun January activity. Now we're working on our second one. I like to talk about the season of winter. So I go through a lot of factual videos and books, and we talk about all the things that can happen and we can experience in the season of winter. And of course, you know, they're really focused on sledding and ice skating and snow building a snowman. So I like to always bring in some other things like frozen breath and the holidays that are in the season of winter, and how the plants and animals are affected by the cold temperatures, and also how people, the things that people do, like wear warm clothing and eat warm foods and sit by the fire and drink hot chocolate. So we just expand their thoughts about the season of winter. And then we make a list of all of those winter activities, and I let each student select one thing that winter is. And so we like to do art in my classroom. And so the first step to winter is we create these really cute cups of hot cocoa. I have a stencil that I allow the students to trace, and then we talk about making this two-dimensional piece of paper sort of look three-dimensional by creating this little lip, and then we put some hot chocolate, and we talk about, I let them color over first with white and then with brown, so it kind of looks foamy, like the mini marshmallows are melted. And these are, this is steam from the hot chocolate rising up. And then I give them this piece of paper to put in the middle of their cup, and they draw a line on the top and the bottom so they can design a really cute hot cocoa mug. That's step number one. That usually takes us a day or two, depending on how artsy the kids are and how much detail they want to put into it. So we have been working on that for a couple days. The next step is for, after they select their winter is their favorite winter thing that happens in the season of winter, then they take that little slip of paper and they write winter is, and then they complete the sentence. So everyone's going to say winter is, and then whatever they selected. Winter is sledding, or winter is ice skating, or winter is catching snowflakes on your tongue. So they fill in and complete the sentence, and then I have them trace over it with a marker so it pops it out. And then finally they illustrate in color, and then we assemble the hot cocoa mug with their winter is illustration and sentence. And this is a really good way to review and to talk about things that happen in the season of winter, and then for them to put it down on paper and us to show these out in the hall. I always like to put them out in the hall for all the school to just be reminded of all the fun activities that we can experience in the season of winter. So that's what I'm working on with my kids right now. Next week, once we're finished with that, I like to work on snowflakes. I'm not really a winter person. I don't love winter, but I do like fun things you can do in winter. So I like to first of all talk to my students about snowflakes and just give them some facts. Now this is one that I've had for several, a weekly reader I've had for several years. You can see it's very much been used. The reason I like to keep this one is it shows them that snowflakes are crystally, and it gives them just some quick facts about snowflakes. So I like to just work on this first, and I like to use the videos on YouTube, SciShow Kids, and there's one about snowflakes that I like to use. So I'll be letting my students watch that. And the first activity I like to do is I like to show them how to make a paper snowflake. And this is a copy of, I think I got this out of a mailbox magazine. And so they just cut and fold. So you have to model this with first graders because it gets a little bit complicated with the folding, and some of them start cutting because it's a dash line. So we do this together, and then I model how to cut the snowflake, and then when you open it up, surprise, we have a beautiful lacy snowflake. So that's always really fun. However, it is quite messy because there's a lot of little paper scraps on the floor, but well worth it. And then, you know, I like to put these in the window. So we have snowflake facts. We watch them, we read about them, we talk about them, and then we make our paper snowflake. But my favorite snowflake activity to do is to make a snowflake snack. And again, I think I got this from my mailbox magazine years ago. So they're going to be taking a large marshmallow, pretzel sticks, mini marshmallows, and then spreading on some delicious frosting to make their snack. Now this is a step-by-step, so I will be going through this with them, and there's step number 1, and then step number 2, and I along with them. And the fun thing about this is they have to kind of twist those pretzels into the large marshmallow, and then there's 3, and sometimes the pretzels break and we have to give them some new. And then step 4, they get to spread the frosting. This is always my favorite part. And then finally, eat and enjoy. Hey, I'm just going to step away from my camera just for a second because I wanted to show you how I already assembled my ingredients. So hang on, I'll be right back. So yesterday I had all my ingredients. It's really a simple project. You need frosting, and you need mini marshmallows, you need large marshmallows, and you need pretzel sticks. Super, super easy. Paper plates and plastic knives. But anyway, yesterday I decided to assemble some little individual baggies. This is going to keep the ingredients at a quick grab. So I've been doing this for several years, and sometimes I don't assemble the ingredients in a plastic bag, and it just passing out all this stuff it just takes a long time. And so to quicken things up, and also, you know, this year thinking about trying to be careful with touch and, you know, germs, so I just went ahead and assembled the ingredients in these plastic bags, and I will just hand them to the students, and they will assemble all of the items out on their paper plate. And then the final thing I'll come around is with my tub of frosting, and I'll just scoop some out and scrape it on their paper plate, and they can just spread away. It's always really fun to watch them assemble, but the funnest thing is to watch them try to lift up that snowflake. The pretzels are dangling off if they haven't tightened them into that large marshmallow, and it's just so fun to watch them eat a snowflake. So that's coming up next week, and I'm really excited about that one. That's going to be not only fun to do, but fun to eat. The final thing that I'm going to do with my students that has to do with winter is I like to do a poem called Ice Skating. And the words of the poem are: ice skating is nice skating. And then it talks about all of the movements that ice skaters will make. They're going to be gliding and colliding. They're going to be twirling and whirling and dancing and racing. And so this poem is a great poem to talk about action, but it's also a great poem not only to talk about actions, but to do them. So after we read the poem and recite the poem several times, then we actually go ice skating. But of course we're limited to the classroom, so that's where paper plates come in handy. So I allow my students, and I usually do, we usually are in the room, and I normally have my large carpet, and they get around the carpet, and then we pick 3 or 4 students to ice skate. They just simply stand on these paper plates, and then I model for them how you have to push the plates. You can't pick your feet up and try to walk. That's always interesting to see them ice skate for the first time on paper plates, but it's really fun. And so first of all, I'll say to them, okay, just ice skate. You know, I'll say, the start of the poem says, ice skating is nice skating. So they'll just glide around. And then the class and I will say the poem while the students that are on the skates act it out. So they'll start skating, and they'll say, you know, gliding, sliding. And of course, I've modeled all the words for them, what gliding looks like, what twirling and whirling and leaping and jumping and chasing look like. And so the whole class is reciting the poem while the students are skating. And so 3 or 4 kids will act out the poem. They will ing all of the ice skating words, and then they'll take their skates off, and I'll call another 3 or 4 students, and those that aren't skating are reciting the poem. It's a really fun way not only to let them experience the feel of skating on ice, because you actually are gliding, and it works on carpet as well as just, I have a tile. I used to have carpet in the classroom, but when I had my whole class carpeted, it actually almost works better on a carpet than on the tile floor. I don't know why that is, but and it's really good if you get fresh paper plates. These have been used and they don't glide as well, but yeah, I'll keep you posted on how the ice skating goes. I think that's going to be really fun, and of course the janitors are going to go bananas, but I definitely like to not like to put snow on the ground. Now, one thing I have to be careful, I like to put snow around the edges of the ice skating rink. However, if it gets on the rink, it kind of disturbs the flow of the skate. But I do like to have some snow also located around the ice skating rink, which is going to be my little carpet. So I'm really excited about these really fun, adventurous January activities. So I'm looking forward to, I am, like I said, feeling a little tired and a little pressured trying to get all of the really important assessments done, as well as having fun and letting the students enjoy some fun January activities while they're learning. So, you know, it's always a fine dance for us teachers to try to do the standards, get those in, those expectations, those things that we have to do, but also to weave in those fun activities. I know that's what I love about being an elementary school teacher. I love to be able to do all of those fun seasonal activities. Well, it is getting late. It's about 4:40, so I am going to head out on this Friday. It's going to be a long weekend. I am thinking that Martin Luther King Jr. Day is on Monday, and boy, I am looking forward to a day off. All right, I'm going to head out. So until our next video together, our time together, as always, have a good one, and I'll see you soon.